Alright, timer starts now. Hello everyone. If you're seeing this video, you must have come from my Instagram page, or if this did show up on your For You page on YouTube, welcome. I'm Shubov, and I make gym content on Instagram and TikTok, but I don't really care too much about TikTok at the moment. And the goal of these videos, as mentioned by the title, is that they're 10-minute videos where I talk unscripted about anything that I think of on the spot. So whether it's anything about my life or any advice I could give to you guys, I'll talk about it. Now, I wouldn't post this on Instagram because it is very long. I may post clips of it sometimes if I do end up saying anything that I think is pretty wise. But yeah, I speak a lot differently when I'm not controlled by a script, even if I make the script. And yeah. Now, this year has been a very different year for me. I still have the same goals that I had at the end and during high school, at least the second half of high school, but now I've started a different chapter in my life. One that's probably the biggest chapter I've ever ran into in my life. Now I just started year 11, if you didn't already know, and it's been a very different year, especially because I've had to make a whole ton of new friends, which was pretty scary, and that's going to be the main topic of today's video, how to deal with fear. Now, when you fear something, your mind tends to exaggerate it a lot, and your mind is a very powerful tool that is controlled by your environment, I shall say. Now, this plays a big role for me because fear thrives in the absence of comfort. And I was not very comfortable when I started school. I had to make completely new friends. In fact, there was only one person from my high school that even came to my new school, and I love him, bro. Sal, if you're watching this, I love you, bro. And it was definitely scary because I was uncomfortable. I could have easily, in the first week, begged my parents to send me to the school that in my priority enrollment area where I knew everyone. But that's comfortable. At the end of every day, I came to terms with myself and said, you know what, that would not be a good idea. Not because I don't like the people nor the education from my priority enrollment area school, but it's that I wouldn't grow as a person compared to this new school, because transferring from the public to the private system is very different. And I could make a full video about the differences between the public and private system, but that's not really my place to say it. But anyways, I was scared, alright? And I've been scared before, but this is different, I'd say. I still go to the gym, I still find time for it, and that was sort of my place to blow off my fear. People talk about how easy the gym is, and it depends on how you train in it. So you could be doing straight machines and it'll probably be the easiest workout ever. Sure, you'll gain muscle, but emotionally, you won't really develop. But I lost my train of thought. But when you do the hard stuff in the gym, such as free weight compound movements, like you see me do dips, you see me bench, you see me squat a lot, that's all the hard stuff, and that adds extra fear. So at the same time, the fear of going to this new school and the fear of the gym, however the gym also being fun, it sort of like cancels out in a way, but at the same time it sort of adds extra fear. I don't know I can't think of any better way to word this off the top of my head. But if you understand, you understand, right? So many things, at least in my life, I'm scared of right now. I've done a lot of things, and I've learnt a lot in these few weeks already. And I think it'll carry over for the rest of my life, because I'm still young, I'm still growing, I'm still learning. Sometimes I like to think that I'm right about everything I say, but then I realize that's just my ego. And if I do keep admitting that, no, I was right in this situation, that just feeds it. And I always feel this guilty conscience when I do it. And in order to stop my physical mind from taking over my subconscious mind, I force myself to say that, no, this is where I went wrong. I can't have such a fixed mindset. Otherwise, my future decisions will be impacted, and my life will start to go really downhill. So I've just been staying true to my heart and embracing this fear that I'm scared. And it's okay to feel that. Feeling fear is not a weakness. In fact, if you don't feel fear, that means you're not doing anything. It's quite a nice day. It's cloudy. It's not too hot, not too cold. Now, if I were to give my advice on fear and how to handle it, I'd say just spend time learning. Use that time to your advantage. Don't be so caught up in the past. That's something I've had to learn these few weeks. Don't be so caught up in the past. Still try and discover new hobbies. If life is also getting hectic with you, in terms of workload, trust me, you have more time than you think. If you have a part-time job, either try and find the fun in it or find other hobbies outside of it. Because the more you run to your past, the more your past will sting you from behind. Kind of like backstabs you. It was so good in the moment, but then your feelings bring you back to that. Even though you've moved on from the past in some way or another, whether that's positively or negatively at the moment, but your past hasn't moved on with you. Now, me making this video, I can't articulate my words very well on command, especially in front of a camera. I don't do it very often, believe it or not. But it's something I will continue to do. And every week, like I said. And hopefully, by the end of this, I'll begin to articulate my thoughts better. And I'll be able to provide better advice. But in the meantime, I hope everything that I've said has helped you guys in some way or another. I don't even know how much longer I have left, but I think I've said all that I need to say for this week. And I just want to say that if you are struggling in your life, there's plenty of services that you can reach out to. And there are people that do love you. Please talk to them. I've discussed my feelings with people. And with the right people, they shouldn't make you feel bad about feeling those things, but instead they should help you. And be open to hearing what they have to say. Don't let your pride or your ego, 10 minutes is up. But don't let your pride nor your ego come into taking the advice. Just listen with a whole heart. Alright, thank you for watching.